Today we will discuss a German breed that's known as the KROMFOHRLANDER. This is like a hybrid between herding breeds, but in particular a lot of terrier blood is present herein. It's a little bit like the Boerenfox we know in the Netherlands, which is a hybrid of especially a lot of terrier breeds. So for example the smooth-coated fox terrier and Jack Russells or Parson Russell terriers. So those are mixed. And sometimes they also add a little bit of smooth-coated border collie to that, which is like a herding breed. The KROMFOHRLANDER is a little bit the same, but it is developed with rougher coats in general. So KROMFOHRLANDER can still be quite white in the colors that are accepted because they have a problem, and I will get back to that later. So in contrary to the Dutch breed, the Boerenfox, which has quite a broad genetic foundation, the KROMFOHRLANDER was developed using 3 dogs. So you can imagine how much inbreeding went in there, and now they want to restore that and make a new KROMFOHRLANDER, also known as the Pro KROMFOHRLANDER. So the purpose of breeding a KROMFOHRLANDER was to get a dog that has properties to be a good companion dog. That was the first goal, and also have some possibilities to be like a watchdog for the houses to protect. So not so much of a protection dog, but just a dog that alerts and watch over the houses. I'll put my Catador here now, because sometimes there's glass lying around here and I don't want it to go into his paws. So that was the prime purpose, and also they would like to have some of the courageousness of a terrier there, being for their watchdog properties, an alertness, the small body, but also to get rid of vermin like rats and mice around those farms. That were the purposes, but they use a shortcut by only using 3 dogs and just breed something out of that. And that's a pity. And now the Pro KROMFOHRLANDER, they add some other blood to make it more robust, but I think they make a big fault, because they only involve terriers that don't display hunting instincts, which is, in my opinion, not a terrier at all. So why would you infuse, for example, Parson Russell terriers that they are now infusing, especially looking at those with a rougher coat, to uphold that this KROMFOHRLANDER type of appearance, and just add dogs that are not typical for the breed they represent. So in this case, terriers. The KROMFOHRLANDER is a dog that's a little bit bigger than your average terrier. Also would not fit into a hole that easily normally, and also is a little bit a lot smaller than the herding breeds. It has characteristics of both. I personally prefer the Boerenfox we have in the Netherlands, which is also not an FCE registered breed, whereas the KROMFOHRLANDER is. Because, of course, if you only have 3 dogs, it will line breed that extensively, and then select a little bit more. It will be easy to get what the FCE wants. They want a breed that's consistent and looks the same as much as possible. That would be very easy if you're you're breeding half brother to half sister all the time, and other brothers to sisters, you get a breed, then it will be hard to not get consistency in a very short period of time, but it's at the cost of genetic diversity. And there's a very narrow foundation that now, especially because this was more of a breeding exercise, that they get an additional breed that they could say they developed. And I mentioned how they developed it, very easy, and also with not much performance at hand. They just make this up to make the story whole, and now tell you that this is a very good breed to protect your farm, because they will alert you and also keep it free of rodents. But as I mentioned, also with the KROMFOHRLANDER, which is now extending the genetic base, they use animals that are easy and that they don't have the terrier instinct, which is that of a vermin killer, be it rodents, foxes or other vermin. They just want an easy dog and not a functional performance type of dog that really could do the work. And the boer fox also might not be as good in many things as a terrier is, but it's a better all-rounder, and it's still very performance driven, because those farmers, they will keep dogs that perform. Also those boer foxes are often very wary of strangers, much more wary than your average terrier, and are selected to be good watchdogs that also could guard despite the small size, and also very ferocious on rodents, for example, or moles. Not as ferocious as a dog that's specifically developed only to do this, but I like boer fox approach a lot more. It's the same with this base that you see now in the red terrier is like an American version of the boer fox, perhaps also a little bit older and wider in size differences, but that's not recognized by the FCI. But the American hairless terrier is, which is genetic mutation of this red terrier, and with a skin that doesn't allow it to work. Funny how things happen.